Every day you wake up, and immediately something starts fighting for your attention. Your phone, notifications, emails, messages, videos, ads, music, news, endless scrolling. And most people think this is normal. But what if it's not? What if distraction is not an accident? What if the modern world was intentionally designed to keep you constantly stimulated? Because distracted people are easier to influence, easier to control, and easier to sell to? Before we go deeper, if you enjoy videos about psychology, money, success, and the hidden systems shaping modern life, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel grow, and it allows me to keep creating this kind of content for you. Let's start with something simple. Attention is the most valuable resource in the modern world. Not gold, not oil, not real estate. Attention. Because wherever attention goes, money follows. And the biggest companies on earth understand this perfectly. Social media companies, streaming platforms, news corporations, advertising networks. They are all competing for one thing: your focus. Because the longer they keep your attention, the more money they make. Now think about this. Why are most digital platforms free? Why do apps give you unlimited content? Why does everything seem designed to keep you online for as long as possible? Because you are not the customer. You are the product. Your attention, your behavior, your emotions, your reactions, all of it becomes data. And that data becomes profit. Every second you spend online teaches the algorithm something about you. What makes you stop scrolling? What makes you emotional? What makes you angry? What makes you excited? What keeps you watching longer? And slowly, without realizing it, the system begins learning how to shape your behavior. Not directly, not aggressively, subtly, almost invisibly. Now let's talk about dopamine, because this is where things become dangerous. Every notification, every like, every message, every short video, every small, unpredictable reward creates dopamine inside your brain. A tiny chemical reward, and your brain begins craving it. This is why people check their phones without thinking. This is why someone unlocks their device and forgets why they even picked it up. This is why silence feels uncomfortable to so many people, because their brain has been trained to expect constant stimulation. And over time, this changes human behavior in a massive way. Because their brain has been trained to expect constant stimulation. And over time, this changes human behavior in a massive way. Because once your brain adapts to high levels of stimulation, normal life begins to feel slow. Reading becomes difficult. And this creates a generation of people who are constantly entertained, but mentally exhausted. Constantly stimulated, but emotionally disconnected. Constantly consuming, but rarely creating. Now think about this. When was the last time you spent 1 full hour without checking your phone, without consuming content, without distractions, just thinking? Most people can't do it. And that should scare you, because the inability to focus is becoming one of the biggest weaknesses of modern society. If this video is making you see things differently, take 2 seconds to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of work, and your support genuinely helps more than you think. Now let's go deeper into something even more powerful. Outrage. Now let's go deeper into something even more powerful. Outrage. Negative emotions spread faster online than positive emotions. Fear, anger, conflict, controversy, outrage. Because strong emotions capture attention instantly, and the algorithm learns this very quickly. That's why extreme opinions get pushed more than balanced ones. That's why extreme opinions get pushed more than balanced ones. That's why drama spreads faster than truth. And that's why people become emotionally reactive online. Because the system rewards emotional engagement, not intelligence, not nuance, not depth, reaction. And slowly, people stop thinking deeply. They start reacting impulsively. Everything becomes faster, shorter, louder, more emotional, more addictive. Now here's the real danger. If someone controls your attention, they influence your thoughts. If they influence your thoughts, they influence your decisions. And if they influence your decisions, they influence your future. This is why attention is power. Now let's connect this to money, because distraction is extremely expensive. Financially, mentally, emotionally. Wealth requires focus, patience, discipline, long-term thinking, consistency. But distraction trains the opposite: impulsiveness, instant gratification. And this creates a cycle. People feel stressed, so they consume entertainment. Entertainment destroys focus. Lack of focus reduces productivity. Low productivity creates frustration. Frustration increases the desire for escape, and the cycle repeats again and again. Now let's talk about consumerism. Because modern marketing is not about products anymore. It's about identity. Companies no longer sell shoes, watches, or phones. They sell status, emotion, belonging, lifestyle. People compare their real lives to the highlights of others. They see luxury, success, vacations, expensive lifestyles, and their brain begins feeling inadequate, insecure, behind. And insecurity is extremely profitable, because insecure people buy more, they consume more. And insecurity is extremely profitable, because insecure people buy more, they consume more. They seek validation externally, and companies know this perfectly, because most people don't buy things only for themselves. They buy them for how those things make them feel, and for how they believe other people will perceive them. Quick pause here. If you're still watching, comment the word focus below. I want to see who's really paying attention. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos like this. Now let's go deeper into something most people underestimate. Silence. Now let's go deeper into something most people underestimate. Silence. Silence has become rare. But modern life keeps people constantly distracted because silence forces reflection, and reflection creates awareness. And awareness breaks manipulation. This is why some of your clearest thoughts probably came during moments of disconnection. Walking alone, driving alone, sitting quietly late at night. Not while endlessly consuming content. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are no longer controlling technology. Technology is controlling them. Not through force, but through convenience, entertainment, stimulation, and addiction. And the scary part is that it feels good. That's why people don't resist it. Because the system gives immediate pleasure while slowly reducing long-term control. Now let me ask you something honestly. How many hours per day do you spend consuming instead of creating? How many hours disappear into scrolling, videos, notifications, random information, and entertainment? Write it in the comments because your answer says a lot about the direction of your future. Now let's talk about focus. In a world full of distractions, the person who can concentrate deeply, think clearly, and work consistently gains a massive advantage. Imagine two people. One spends 5 years constantly distracted, reacting emotionally, consuming endlessly, and chasing stimulation. The other spends 5 years building skills, reading, learning, creating, and protecting their attention. Do you think their lives will look the same after 5 years? The gap between distracted people and focused people is becoming larger every single year. Because in a distracted world, focused people become dangerous. They create more, they learn faster, they think independently, they resist manipulation, and they build momentum while everyone else stays mentally scattered. Now let's talk about reclaiming control, because the solution is not escaping technology completely. That's unrealistic. Train your attention again. Spend time reading longer content. Practice deep work. Remove unnecessary notifications. Stop reacting instantly to everything. Practice deep work. Remove unnecessary notifications. Stop reacting instantly to everything. Because every time you protect your attention, you reclaim part of your life. And every time you lose control of your attention, you slowly lose control of your direction. Here's the final truth. The system profits from your distraction, but your future depends on your focus, so protect it carefully, because whatever controls your attention eventually controls your life. And in the end, your attention becomes your reality, because what you focus on repeatedly shapes your thoughts, your habits, your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately the person you become. So the real question is not what are you watching? The real question is, what is what you're watching shaping you into? If you got value from this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This channel is about helping you think clearly, act intentionally, and escape the invisible systems controlling modern behavior.